This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life, your money, your career, your relationships, and everything in between. I'm George Camel, Ramsey personality, joined today by my friend Ken Coleman, and we are here to help you, to take your calls, to give you some affirmation, inspiration, motivation, education, whatever you need. We are here for you. Open phones this hour. 888-825-5225 is the number. 888-825-5225. Sorry about that. You know, you flub it up. There's a lot of twos, a lot of fives, Ken.
A lot of twos, a lot of fives, and you're just getting warmed up, Joe.
I'm just getting warmed up.
I called you Joe, see?
It's Friday, man.
I was seeing if you're paying attention. See, you're already in the zone.
Well, Dave called
Relax.
me Joe Camel, I think the first time I was ever on the show.
I was wondering if you were going to catch the slight reference. But
It's
hey,
stuck.
The phones are ready to go. People are calling in, and we're ready to help. Let's go.
Let's do it. John is kicking us off in Effingham, Illinois. John, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you? How can we help?
I'm doing great. So I've got a question on whether my wife and I can afford a new house, a next house. Last year we made $110,000. That's what we brought home. Excuse me, that is before taxes. This year, our average bring home has been about $6,000 a month. So the house that we're looking at, we've agreed on a price of $290,000, and all of my numbers between investments that we would pull out, a gift from a family member, and the sale of our house, I'm looking at someplace between $1,400 and $1,700 a month. So the math adds up in my head, but I want to make sure that there's nothing that I'm missing, and why do I still have this feeling in my stomach?
Yeah, it's a great question. Did you pull those numbers on a 15-year mortgage or 30-year?
That's a 30-year.
Ah, okay. Well, that throws a wrench in the plans here because I'm only going to steer you towards that 15-year mortgage, and that's going to increase that monthly payment.
Okay.
So tell me about these investments. You said you're pulling from these investments. Is this outside of retirement, just a brokerage account?
Yeah, it's outside of retirement. So my wife and I, we've been saving since we were 18 through a big company. And then I have a 401k. She has a pension, and then we have some other investments. So this is aside from our primary retirement.
Okay. So what is causing the urgency to jump into this new house?
So the house that we're currently in, we've got 2 boys, 3 and going to be 1 next month. And our house is 1,300 square foot. Obviously, people make it on less. The house that's available, I've lived in my town ever since I was just a wee guy, and I've always loved the house. Our minister originally owned it, and somebody else bought it, and now I have an opportunity to occupy it. And it's a fantastic house. It would be our forever home until we retire.
Wow. Forever home always scares me, Ken.
Oh, we got too much emotion. That's the short answer. Too much emotion on this. Let me just break this down. John, the 1 and 3-year-old boy have no stinking clue how big or small your house is. 1,300 square feet to a 1 and 3-year-old boy or 1 and 3-year-old girl, they don't even have any clue. And my brother and I, we shared a room in a house that size probably until I was 12. And then my dad finished the attic, and I was so desperate to get out of the room with my brother, I lived in the attic. It was fabulous. I didn't know. But we lived in bunk beds. I mean, here's my point. You're kind of going, well, we got 2 boys and the house is small. Yeah, but that's not a reason to move. The real reason you want to move is because you've always had your eye on this house, and I totally understand that. I'm not knocking it, but you're not ready.
Yeah.
You're not ready based on what we teach. And so you got to have to get over the emotion here. It's not your only forever house.
John, what's the total amount of down payment you could put down on this right now?
So with our investments and a gift from a family member, that puts us up to $55,000, and with the sale of our home, that should put us someplace between $80,000 and $100,000
as a down payment.
Yeah.
After all the closing costs and everything. Well, I'm on the mortgage calculator here at RamseySolutions.com, and I'm crunching the numbers for you to give you an idea, and you are about if you could put 140 down, I would feel very comfortable with you guys doing this, which means there's a gap right here, which means we've got to be patient. We've got to sacrifice, hustle, whatever you got to do to get to that number. And it's not because you have to follow the Ramsey rules to a T. It's because too much of your take-home pay is going to be tied up in this mortgage, and you're not going to be able to accomplish all of your other financial goals, saving for college, paying off the house early, having a life, going on vacation, because you jumped in this house before you were ready.
Okay.
Yeah, it stinks, doesn't it?
My biggest question is, and you had mentioned the sacrifice. So our boys are 3 and 1. They're not going to know if we don't go to Disney World. They're not going to know about the vacations. So our logic was, okay, we can hustle. I got a big raise this last year, projected to make another big raise for next year. So our estimate was, well, let's sacrifice for a couple of years. We're not going to Disney World. We don't have any intentions on anytime soon. And we spend the majority of our time in our home. If we were to sacrifice, cut back on lots of things, which we already do, if we were to go through and sacrifice a little bit more for the house that we know. I mean, our neighborhood, I left out a lot about our neighborhood just because I didn't want to make it even more personal, but our neighborhood's really gone downhill. I found methamphetamine in my backyard. Somebody was hiding underneath my shed. We've had some sex predators down the street. We do have some other motivations, but I mean, you're right. It is an emotional thing with the house, but I do wonder, they're not going to know.
There's other places you can live that may be more affordable, and if you really need to get out right now, but it sounds like if you look for the reasons why you need to get in this house right now, you'll find them. And if you look for the reasons why this is a bad move financially for your financial future, you'll also find it. So you're going to find what you're looking for there. But when it comes down to it, I want you guys to have margin in your life, and right now this plan doesn't do that for you.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's our take. You can do what you want, but if you're going to follow the Ramsey plan to freedom that millions have done, to where you can pay off your house, become an everyday millionaire, all that stuff, this is the way to do it. Do you guys have any consumer debt?
We just have one car, but it'll be paid off in a year's time.
Man. Do you have an emergency fund fully funded 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, we've got $12,000 in that, and that's without touching it. We wouldn't be touching it for the down payment.
What's on the car loan?
$20,000.
Man.
So the plan was without the house to knuckle down and get that out of our life. And after talking to the people who own the home, they're looking at probably selling it in July-ish. And so we would be able to, okay, let's knuckle down. Let's say we might have to A, sell the car, or B, keep the car for
I think this thing either needs to get sold, or you're putting extra pause before you jump into this house. You got to get out of debt, man. And you got to get that emergency fund back in place. Once you pay off the debt, then we're working on saving up for this house. But if you do things out of order and you do 17 things at once, you'll never get to where you want to go. Thanks for the call, John. Wishing the best for you. This is The Ramsey Show.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
Hey folks, welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, joined today by my colleague Ken Coleman. Listen, it has been a long time, way too long, since we've been able to talk about our live events. But this week, we finally got to kick off a couple of events we're planning for later this year.
So exciting.
We're talking about real live events, Ken, with real people and everything.
Real people in the room. It's very exciting.
We're excited to say the least. And we have lots of events coming up this year, and I'm especially looking forward to Smart Conference. That's right, Smart Conference is back. It's been 3 years, and we're so pumped to get this conference back on the road in Dallas, Texas. We're going to Dallas on Saturday, October 22nd. And Smart Conference is our biggest event of the year. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a day-long, jam-packed event where you'll get advice from leading experts on money, personal growth, leadership, mental health, and your career. You're going to leave with all the knowledge and motivation that you need to live the life you want. All of the Ramsey personalities are going to be there, plus Craig Rochelle and his wife talking about marriage. It's going to be a great time. So get your tickets right now. They're moving real fast. Just $39. That's amazing.
It's honestly, I've told Dave this. It's too good of a deal.
Yeah, you've got to be there. Yeah. That's a great price for a full-day event like this. So get your tickets now before they sell out. You can go to RamseySolutions.com/events to learn more and join us in Dallas, Texas.
Are you going to wear the, kind of the old school country music star full-on suit with sequins and tassels?
I've been known to pull out the rose shirt.
Yeah, because you're a little guy and you would look kind of fun in that.
Thank you for that.
A little guy wears the
well,
cowboy
we're not going to the rodeo,
Texas.
Ken. This is a professional event.
I just think it would connect you to the audience a little bit more.
I appreciate that.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, I haven't thought about wardrobe, Ken. You're thinking ahead.
That's what I do.
Well, open phones this hour. We'd love to take your call on money and especially career. There's so much out there. If it's a toxic environment, you've got a boss you can't stand, you're looking to increase your income, get a bigger shovel so that you can accomplish your financial goals, Ken Coleman is expert on that.
I'm ready to help him.
And if you've got any questions, you need some affirmation, sometimes you think you know the answer and you just want to hear from a third party to go, yes, I was thinking that way. Or I think this is a dumb thing and I just need someone to talk me off the ledge. We're happy to do that too.
It sounds like parenting teenagers, but you were talking about the show.
That's a great analogy.
Also, I got 3 teens at home. That's what I feel like on a daily basis. I feel like I need a third party person to tell me, talk me off a ledge.
I love that. Well, either way, we are here for you. The phone number to call, get this down, 888-825-5225. You'll get patched through to our friend Kelly, and if you're nice to her, she will let you through on the air. That's the key. Be nice to Kelly. She holds the keys to the kingdom.
Powerful woman.
All right. Well, let's go to those phone lines. Todd joins us in Washington, D.C. Todd, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, we're doing really good with the program. We've got our baby steps going right, and I did have a quick question about the emergency fund, and me and my wife have gone back and forth on that. So when they say you should have 3 to 6 months, that's of the expenses, not of your income, correct?
Correct.
So with the extra, we're debt free other than our mortgage. We have no consumer debt.
Awesome.
And we have a 15-year mortgage that we refinanced a couple years, maybe a year ago. So we had got a 30, and we just want to pay this thing down quicker. So what I'm asking is, so any extra money over what we currently have in our current bank savings, which gives you nothing in interest, we all know, should that go straight to the mortgage, for one, the balance? I would think yes, because you guys always say you should try to get that paid off as soon as you can. But what about the emergency fund? Should that stay liquid like in the bank, or would it be okay to invest that into like a mutual fund or something?
1,000% no. We are not investing the emergency fund. That is a recipe for disaster. Have you seen the stock market today? If you had your HVAC go out and your money just dropped, $5,000, that's a bad situation. So here's how we look at it. Your emergency fund is insurance. It's not an investment.
Right, okay.
It's there to protect you when Murphy hits, when life goes wrong, when the stock market's down, when the HVAC goes out, the tire goes flat, the job gets lost, all of those things. And so, no, I know you're going, man, I could be making money right now, but that's not the point of the emergency fund. That is what your investing is for in baby step 4. So do you guys have the emergency fund, or are you saying you're working on it?
Oh, we definitely got it. We got more than it in the bank right now. Yeah.
How much are we talking? How many months?
So I got 6 months saved, plus with the extra, probably be covering another 3.
Wow.
So I got about 9 months, yeah.
Wow. Well, why don't you take that extra 3 and throw it on the mortgage?
That's what I'm thinking about doing. That's what I was asking. Yeah, I think that might be a good shot.
That's the plan, man. What's left on the mortgage?
Right now, we got about $355 left on it. If we sold it on the market right now, we'd probably get 6 and up. So we got good equity in it.
Okay.
And, we're both in our early 60s. We want to retire. My wife is going to retire soon to do part-time. So we're just trying to – our biggest thing is the quicker we get this thing paid off, the better off we're going to be, and we know that. That's why I don't want to buy it.
What's your combined income right now?
Combined income, we bring about $210 a year in.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you cut the check today with the additional 3 months of your emergency fund, so we still have 6 months in there, how much is that going to drop the mortgage balance to?
Let's say probably about 20. I'd say about it'd drop it down to about probably 320 maybe.
Yeah, with that kind of income, even if your wife dropping down to part-time income, you guys still have a really healthy income, and you're going to be able to knock that out. You're on the road.
Yeah, that's what we've been trying to really focus on, because I think I kind of agree with y'all's principle about get rid of the debt, get rid of the mortgage. I've always said, you don't need as much to live in retirement if you don't have a mortgage.
That's the truth. And that's what I was going to ask you. I want you to have a paid-for house before you guys retire so that you can retire with dignity. Do you guys have a nest egg saved? How much is in investments?
We don't really currently have other things other than my 401k and her 401k. So we got about combined almost $500,000.
Okay. Well, let's keep at that. Let's keep doing the 15%. Are you doing that already? Into retirement?
I just actually up mine to 18% 2 weeks ago. So I was doing 15%. I went to 18%. I don't remember her percentage because with her income, she doesn't make as much. So we've dropped down hers a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Our plan works every time you work it. And so if you want to do our plan, you want to retire with dignity, I would tell you to drop that back down to 15%. Use the extra 3%. That's going towards the mortgage. That needs to be the focus for the next, 3, 4, 5 years. I want to see this thing gone so that you can go, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I've worked my whole life for this moment, and we can actually retire with the money in our investments instead of go, well, we've got a mortgage payment still, and we don't have enough in our investments to make it.
Right, and that was going to be my next question. I'm glad you brought that up because I was just going to say, should I drop it down some and put the extra to the mortgage?
Yes.
So should I go below the 15, like go down to 10, or just stay at 15?
No, stay 15 on the dot with your household income. And then once you pay off the house, hey, you can go buck wild. You can increase that to 20%.
All bets are off, right?
Yeah, and that's what you're going to be able to do because guess what? When you don't have a mortgage payment, you can invest a mortgage payment. And you start doing that even for 5, 10 years, and you let that grow over the next 20, 30 years of your life, man, you guys are going to be in good shape. You're going to be able to leave a legacy. You got kids?
Oh, yeah, we do. We got 4 kids. Yep, got grandkids, everything.
Wow. Man, well, I'm pumped for you guys, but stay the course. Don't try to do Todd's plan. I'm telling you, this stuff works every time you work it. We've had tens of millions of people do this stuff, and if you follow it to a T, it will lead you to where you want to go, to that dream retirement.
Well, that's why we're on it. All right. Well, thanks a lot for your help. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Todd. Thank you so much for the call.
Y'all.
Good stuff there, Ken.
Yeah.
He's doing great. Sometimes you got to get a little readjustment, recalibrate.
He's doing very well, but George, I liked it. It was a little bit of snark, which is, for you really had to restrain yourself.
Par for the course for me.
But I think the big takeaway is if you want to work Todd's plan, you can, but it doesn't work like the Ramsey plan.
Well, everyone thinks they're special and they're unique, and like, oh, here's why, here's why.
There's a reason why we drill the baby steps down, because it's data driven. To the tune of millions and millions and millions and millions of people,
I'll take
including
those
the 2 people that are on the debt-free stage that we're going to talk to
next. Can't wait. Let's get to that. Hey, open phones this hour, 888-825-5225. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're not using PureTalk for your wireless, you're paying too much. PureTalk gives you the same great 5G coverage on the same 5G network as one of the big guys for half the cost. The average family saves over $800 a year. Go to PureTalk.com and choose the affordable plan that's right for you. With their 30-day risk-free guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Go to PureTalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month.
I'm George Camel, Ramsey personality, joined by Ken Coleman. This is The Ramsey Show. And in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Brian and Angela join us. Hey, guys, what's up?
Hey,
Hi.
how's it going?
Hi, guys.
Great. Where are you from?
Minnesota.
Southern part of Minnesota.
Oh, I love the accent. And all the way here to do a debt-free scream. Okay, how much have you guys paid off?
$98,500.
Wow.
All right. And how long did that take?
22 months.
Whoa.
Okay. And what was your range of income during that time?
136 up to 145.
Nice. What do you guys do for a living?
I am a general manager of a hotel.
And I do auto body.
Fantastic. Good stuff there. Okay. So what type of debt was this 98.5?
Oh, it was a little bit of everything. Auto loans.
Personal loan, medical bills, and then the big one, credit cards.
Yeah,
Ah. What was the biggest debt out of all that?
that was probably a credit card.
Credit cards, yeah.
So we
Yeah.
were having some fun. We were on a spending spree for a little while.
Yeah, we weren't being intentional at all.
Okay. But then 22 months ago, something shifted because you guys went hard at this debt. What happened?
Well, go ahead.
He brought home FPU DVDs from a coworker, and they sat on our dresser for a couple months.
Yeah,
Wasn't
we
inter-
just-
once-
Okay, so I got to ask a detail. Was this a passive move, Brian, where you just put it on the dresser and waited for her to address it, or did you bring it up and she was just like, that's nice, and we ignored it?
the
well-
latter.
Okay, all right.
So we took a road trip, and we had about 3 hours in the car, and we talked about it and realized, well, we got to do something. We listened to Dave on the podcast and started talking about it and realized we got to do something. And I kind of dug my heels in. I said, this isn't going to work. It's not going to work.
Why?
Because
wasn't
it was
going to work?
so much debt and so much, we were robbing Peter to pay Paul and just, doing all kinds of things. And it just came each month, and it was like we were dying.
So you just had no hope that this plan was even going to work.
No.
So we put it together. We did the baby steps, and the first two debts we paid off, and it was like, okay, this is working.
We can do this.
And then we kept piling on that extra money to the next debt, and then it was like the chains were loosening on our necks.
Wow. How quickly did you pay off those first two once you started? What was the time period?
I
It
think
was
the first
pretty
couple
quick.
little ones was like a couple months, and then we realized, wow, this
You
is work.
tasted momentum.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. And you decided, you know what? I can see some light at the end of the tunnel. Let's go all in on this thing.
Yeah,
Correct.
we were selling stuff, and
Yep.
it took off.
Wow.
And
What was the most you made off a sale? What'd you sell?
Well, we did a lot of things. We walked around the farm place and just put stuff on Craigslist and realized, okay, we're making a little extra money here. And we both got extra jobs. That helped a lot. Working overtime, he did. And I had night jobs after my full-time jobs.
Wow. Good
We
You
for
had-
guys
you.
went all in. Even with the kiddos, you guys decided we're going to sacrifice for a short period of time so that we can leave a legacy, so that we can have this freedom. What was the extra jobs?
I worked at a restaurant and also a brewery.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
So you guys were willing to do whatever it took.
yeah,
Yes.
whatever.
You sold so much stuff the kids thought they were next, didn't they?
Yeah,
That's
Get
exactly.
correct.
nervous. They're
Yeah.
like, don't look at me, Mom. Don't look at me. I'm not for sale. Oh, my goodness. Wow. And now here you are to do your debt-free scream. How does it feel to be completely debt-free?
It feels wonderful.
Unbelievable.
There's emotion there.
Yeah.
What's driving that emotion for you, Angela?
Just being here, this whole place.
Yeah.
working hard.
It saved our marriage
Oh,
Wow.
that's great.
and our future.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What was the relationship between getting out of debt and your marriage improving?
Oh, it brought more communication and
Sitting down together
yes,
each week, going through what we needed to do for our budget, and being intentional and having that communication.
It was the first time you've done that in a long time, it sounds
Correct.
that was big.
like. Wow.
Huge.
I want to ask you guys something on this marriage issue. I'm just curious. Did you find that there was stress on both of you that you were unaware of that was causing maybe some marital strife, that once you started making momentum and feeling hope, relieving the stress, that led to a stronger relationship? Or was it just that we sat down and started communicating? But I'm just curious. I've never asked a married couple this.
Oh, it was both.
It was both.
It
There was
was-
that stress that we were both feeling, but we weren't communicating about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we came together, it was like,
Right. It's like you have two people that are cranky pants. You're not quite sure why we're both cranky pants.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Interesting.
you've done this stuff, and I want you to talk to that person who felt like you did when you started. You went, there's no way this plan's going to work. We have too much debt. That might work for them, but it's not going to work for me. What do you tell that person the key to getting out of debt is?
You
Be
ju-
intentional.
Yes, and you have to be on the same page and know to trust the process. Trust the process, that the steps are simple. It's simple. Just follow those steps and be patient, and know that in the long run, you're going to feel like we do right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's I'm totally grateful and thankful for everything that Ramsey Solutions has done for us.
Yeah.
And we were able to do this process with God guiding us through this whole thing. He had a hand in everything.
Amen. Wow. So did you guys have cheerleaders along the way?
We did.
Oh yeah.
Who were they?
Well, our kids were big teammates, helped us through this whole thing by babysitting and helping out around the house so mom and dad could work. And then one of our biggest cheerleaders was my mom, who we brought here today.
Yay.
That's amazing. And look what happens when you do that to the kids. They turn into adults.
They do.
It's amazing when you put some
Yeah.
responsibility on them. They see mom and dad sacrificing.
Yeah.
That's
well,
incredible.
I'm just asking, and nothing against the two boys, Blake and Brecken, but was Ava kind of in charge when you guys were pulling the overtime?
She sure
She
was.
kept the house going?
She
Yep.
did.
How old
Sure
is
did.
Ava?
Ava's 14.
Ah, that a girl.
There we go.
She was in charge. She's like, I got this.
Wow.
Very nice. Yeah, that's great.
So how's it feel to be completely debt free now?
It feels awesome.
Amazing. Amazing.
Well, I hope everyone listening, watching, can see the emotion, feel the emotion of what that levity looks like when you get rid of the chains, when you get rid of the payments in your life, what you are able to accomplish and what it does to you, not just financially, but emotionally and mentally and spiritually.
That's right.
Well, let's get you got the whole family. Let's bring them up here. Tell us the names and ages. Who
All
do
right.
we got?
We got Ava. She's 14. And we have Blake. He's 11. And we have Brecken is 8.
Oh, I love it. And if you're not watching, you got to know they've got the matching T-shirts that say "Better Than I Deserve," Weird People, Gazelle Intense, and that's exactly what you guys have been, will continue to be,
great.
and we're so proud of you. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm guessing you've been practicing the debt-free scream, all the kids?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to hear it loud and proud,
Yeah,
okay?
for all the times that your mom and dad have told you to be quiet, kids, this is the moment where you get mom and dad back.
You
all
get
right?
to use the outdoor voice
That's
indoors. This is special. Well, we've got a copy of Babysit Millionaires for you, Dave's #1 best-selling book. That is the next chapter for you guys. That's the legacy that you get to leave because of the hard work that you've done and will continue to do. And we also have a copy of the Total Money Makeover, so you can give it to someone else and kickstart their journey. And it might sit on their dresser for a little while, but man, the life change that could happen from something like that is just amazing. All right.
Thank you.
Let's
you.
do this thing. We've got Brian and Angela and Ava and Blake and Brecken, Minneapolis, Minnesota. $98,500 paid off in 22 months, making $136 up to $145, selling everything they could, working extra, doing whatever it took. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! There it is.
I think they might have broken the mics.
They made me want to scream.
It was a
George.
natural reaction,
It
Ken.
was took over me.
Wow. Man, look, just seeing a family tree change like that,
Yeah.
that makes your day.
You know, I got to tell you, mom's emotion, a sense of relief, a sense of hope about their future. It's so awesome.
That's what this
true
is about.
peace.
Yes.
That's peace.
I want that for every single person listening. You can do this, okay? Brian and Angela did it, and you're no different. You're not special. You can do this plan. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, joined today by Ramsey personality Ken Coleman. We are taking your calls on life, money, career, you name it. We are here for you. 888-825-5225 is the number to call. Janet joins us up next in Kansas City. Janet, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing great. How can Ken and I help?
Well, thanks for taking my call. I'm looking to make a career change, and I have a background in sales. I'm currently a bereavement coordinator for a hospice company, and so it's been hard to make that switch. I've been doing this for a while, and I think when potential employers see my resume, they're thinking, wow, she's been out of sales for a while, and she's a grief counselor. So I've kind of hit a rock wall. I've been putting in for many jobs, and I kind of want your advice on what you would recommend for me.
So a follow-up question, Janet, is when you're putting in for all these jobs, describe the process. Tell me what that involves. You doing what? Just submitting an online resume? What else?
Right. I'm sure my resume really needs to be updated because it probably highlights my age. I have a lot of experience, and that's all documented, but I go to Indeed, I go to, career sites, LinkedIn.
So you're submitting everything online, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I want to encourage you because I think you're discouraged. And you should not be discouraged. So the good news is you should not be discouraged. The bad news is you've been doing it all wrong, which is why you shouldn't be discouraged because I'm going to tell you how to do it right. So this is not a you problem. This is the way you're going about it. Does that encourage you?
It does.
All right. So listen, first things first. We're going to get you the free resume guide at kencoleman.com. I'll make sure Kelly gets you a link to that, and we can get you to that. And it's going to help you actually restructure your resume so that looks better. But even then, that's not enough. That's not enough. Because I read some data recently that over 1 million qualified candidates, Janet, that's you, over 1 million qualified candidates in 2021 never even got looked at because of the artificial intelligence, the online software that everybody's using, that you've been submitting your resumes to. And many times, if there's just one keyword that's wrong, or there's one thing in your description of your experience, these artificial intelligence softwares will kick you out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it is a very good possibility, especially when you're not getting any calls back. And I'm just curious, how many times are you not even getting a response?
Well, probably 90% of the time. I mean, I have gotten some calls and, maybe a first interview, and then that's it, like a phone interview. All
right. So here's the thing. And actually, I won't even have Kelly do this because you can do this because it's all Kelly could do for you. I want you to go to kencoleman.com. It's Ramsey Solutions. And I just want you to download the resume guide and the interview guide, okay? How to win the interview and the resume guide as well. And it's going to help you with a real template, show you how to do it, why to do it that way. Secondly, it's going to help you prepare for the interview so you can win your interviews. But I got one other gift for you. I'm going to give you a copy of my #1 best-selling book, The Proximity Principle, because this is what's missing. This is the real ingredient that you're missing. And the proximity principle, Janet, says this. It's a very simple thought. In order to do what you want to do, sales, you got to be around people that are doing it and in places where it is happening. People and places. People, the right people, plus the right places equals opportunities for Janet, where the door swings open for Janet. She's not having to kick it down, George. People are going to come to her. So, Janet, what that means to you is you got to start connecting through one-to-one relationships that you have, and then the next level connections where maybe it's a friend of yours or a friend of your friend, or it is an acquaintance that you haven't talked to in a while, but they're friendly. And they've got connections to sales jobs, or they are in sales, and you're beginning to rub shoulders, if you will, and you're talking to people that are successful salespeople who might be aware of a position that's open. Because here's, Janet, the reality. You are smack dab in the middle of the hottest job market in the history of this country. It's never been hotter. It's never been easier, in the sense of people are looking for salespeople. And just because you haven't done sales in a long time doesn't mean you forgot how to sell. True or false?
True.
All right. So here's what I want you. I'm giving you a lot of stuff that you have to do, but I want you to read the proximity principle. There's 5 specific people and 5 places we unpack in that book. But since you know what you want to do, it's just all a function of how do you get there. And I want you to do the deep dive. It's an easy read, but I want you to, your homework assignment today is you've got to start telling everybody you know. I mean social media. I mean people you go to church with, people you work out with, people you know that you see at social clubs. Tell them you're looking for sales. You've got sales experience. Who's hiring in sales? And then go back to your target list. Some of the places where you applied before, but you never even got a technology response, much less a call. You're not done with those places. I'll bet they don't even know about you, Janet. And so I want you to work this process. Who do you know that knows somebody that works over at all those companies? And George, here's what I know. She will get an opportunity, but that's how you do it. It is a dogged pursuit.
Yeah.
You just keep going.
Well, as you were talking about that, I thought about my own career journey.
You got a great story.
I lived the proximity principle before I even knew it existed.
Yeah.
And that's how I got the role here at Ramsey. It wasn't because of my amazing experience. It was because of who I knew, how I was connected, and my pursuit of that role and the value I could bring.
Yeah.
And I think
it wasn't because of your resume either.
No.
You actually really worked your personal relationships to get in the door here, and then the resume was something that like, oh, well, here's George's resume. But they knew about you through a relationship.
Yes, exactly.
That's what got you the interview.
And I think what Janet's feeling is, well, it's because of my age. It's because of my lack of experience.
Sure.
And I think that can just
it'll
destroy
just
your
beat
soul.
you up pretty quick.
And so I love the encouragement that, hey, it's neither of those things.
It's not.
You just need to get connected.
She hasn't been noticed. See, in order to get hired, you first have to get noticed. And then when you get noticed, there's your opportunity to stand out. And I think a lot of people get beat down. And here's one thing I really want to encourage this audience with, because we have a lot of people, George, who are trying to get out of debt. And they listen to these debt-free screamers. And they go, every time we talk to these folks, almost every time, I'd have to talk to James about this and get it. I'll bet there's a master spreadsheet. But I don't recall ever being on this show and talking to debt-free screamers where their income did not go up during the journey. They were focused. And so some of you are just going, I want to make more money. I want to get a better job just to get out of debt, but I feel discouraged. Well, you shouldn't be discouraged. Here's the deal. You think that submitting a bunch of resumes online and sending 27 emails on LinkedIn is good activity. And so you sit back and you go, well, I sent 27 emails on LinkedIn. Let me just sit here and wait for people to show up and give me an opportunity. Guess what, folks? It doesn't work that way. That is activity, but it's the wrong activity.
It's one step of the process, but we can't just end there.
Relationships. And relationships. The top 3 ways to get a better job, those are it. All the same, by the way, and the data backs it up. There was a long-time sociology study by a guy named Mark Granovetter who found that most people get jobs through what he called loose ties. That's fancy sociology speak. What he meant was acquaintances. You are sitting in the bleachers with parents of your kids' teammates. They may be the next job.
Absolutely. And some of our best hires we made here at Ramsey is referrals.
That's right.
So we get those all the time. It's not because they made it through the stack of resumes. It's because I knew Ken, Ken knew me. He knew my skill set, and he went, hey, George would be a great hire. We got to get him in the door and put him at the top of the stack. That's how this works.
What you just described is beautiful. That's how you come out of the pile and go to the top of the stack. Because, by the way, there ain't no stack anymore.
No.
But it is digital.
It's a robot spewing it back out.
And you may never even get noticed if you're playing the lottery. Like Janet's been playing the lottery or the slot machine.
Yeah. We got to do better than that.
So hang on the line, Janet. We'll get you the proximity principle, and then go to kencoleman.com for those free resources. The interview guide and how to win the interview. The resume guide and how to win the interview.
Good stuff there, Ken. Some encouragement for your career and your money. That's what we're here for. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before we know it. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life, your money, your career, your relationships, and everything else. I'm George Camel, your host, joined today by my friend Ken Coleman, and we are taking your calls. The number to call is 888-825-5225. If you need some confirmation, some affirmation, maybe there's a job change, you're not loving your career, you're not sure where to store the emergency fund, you name it, we'll try to help, Ken. We will try our best.
Yeah, sure, but we're gonna be able to help. We've got proven,
Ken's more confident,
clear paths, full of principles that if you do it, it works.
Well, I'm
just throwing a little extra confidence.
I was alluding to the fact that we've got opinions and we're experts on our opinion.
Well, that's true.
There we go.
It's absolutely true, George.
Well, people are doing it. JT is on the line to kick off this hour in St. Louis. JT, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can Ken and I help?
Okay, let me start by saying I'm getting ready to do something I don't want to do, but I'm also going off of the mantra, happy wife, happy life.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's a setup. Boy, JT, that's one of the better setups I've ever heard. I can't wait to hear what this thing is you're about to do because your wife is making you. Go, JT.
Yes. So, just a preference, we are debt-free. We paid off our mortgage and all our bills.
Baby step 7.
Yes.
Wow. Way to go, man.
Thank you. We just haven't made our way east to do the debt-free streams, but I'm dying to do it. So I promised my wife a car or a Jeep. She found one. They're very hard to find. Apparently, she found the one color that is like you can never find. So we've got about $37,000 in savings, which that is our emergency fund, but also our car fund. Apparently, the Jeep's coming in 2 weeks. I got a pretty good price, but we're going to be about $15,000 short.
Hold on. I got to get some details. I don't want to interrupt this momentum here. $37,000, and you're going to be 15 short. So you're telling me $52,000 for this Jeep that only comes in this one color
and leaves you with $0?
Well, I still want to keep some money in the emergency fund. So the price is $41,000.
Oh, okay. It's only slightly better than what I described.
Exactly.
What's the color of the Jeep? I got to know.
Okay, it's a word I've never heard before called snozberry.
Oh, geez.
You're joking. Someone made that up.
How do you spell that?
Is this a prank call?
Apparently, it's a dark red.
I'm looking it up. Okay, it's a dark red Jeep that they made up.
Snozberry, James.
That's from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is a thing, though, that Jeep is marketing, and it's got JT's wife on the hook, man.
All right, JT.
All right. So what's the problem you're about ready to do? You said I'm about ready to do something bad.
I think that's
I think we all know what it is.
We went through our bank, and I can get a loan the maximum would be about 5 months, and they're fine with that. The minimum I would have to take out is $10,000, and we literally save anywhere between $7,000 and $8,000 per month. So we can really pay this off in 3 to 4 months max.
If you can pay it off in 3 to 4 months, then you can save it up in 3 to 4 months.
I agree, but the car should be coming in about 2 weeks.
Well, wait a second. Is it the only, what's the name of it, a Snosberry?
Snosberry.
Is it the only Snosberry Jeep in the entire United States,
Brand new
JT?
sentence on the show today.
I never thought I'd say that.
We have tried. Apparently, we've tried.
No. We haven't tried. Sounds like Mama has tried, and you're just being made aware of all of this. Is this breaking news to you, JT?
As of 4 days ago, yes.
I thought I heard that when you said it's on the way. Did she already commit to this?
No, we did put a deposit down of $500. They wanted $2,000. I said no way, $500.
Is it refundable?
No. It's
well,
not.
Here's the deal, JT. You paid a $500 stupid tax, and we're not getting that car.
I'm going to research. George, please straighten JT out. I'm going to research Snosberry Jeeps right now.
Please do that.
I don't believe it's the only one in the United States.
Here's the thing, JT. Number one, your emergency fund and your car fund need to be separate.
Yes.
Because as you can see, this is what happens when you combine them. It becomes, well, it's a squishy fund for the car/emergency. This is not an emergency. So separate this out. 3 to 6 months of expenses, what does that look like for you guys?
6 months would be right around $7,000.
$7,000 a month?
No, total.
You're saying 6 months of expenses for you guys is $7,000 total?
Yes. We have no car payments. We have no debt whatsoever.
Even just insurance premiums, sinking fund, I mean, you name it, it's got to be more than that. Food, gas.
Oh yeah. I'm just talking those. No, so let's sell probably about $25,000.
Okay, that's a very different number than 7. Okay, so let's say $25,000 is our magic emergency fund number. That means we have $12,000 to put towards the car. Okay?
Yes.
This is reality. So $12,000, and we need $41,000 to get this Jeep. So what does that tell you? We are short about $29,000, right?
Correct.
So the question becomes, how quickly can we save up $29,000, and then we go Jeep shopping? You told me you could save $6,000-7,000 a month?
Yes.
Okay, so then we're doing some more math here and going, okay, in about 4 months or less, we can have this Jeep.
And it's going to take that much time it seems like to order another one.
Well, that's what I'm hoping is that right now it's due to be in 2 to 3 weeks, but they said that it could be 2 to 3 months. So if it is 2 to 3 months, then we'll
JT, your wife has car fever, and she needs to freaking chill, man.
Here's the only question I have, JT. You guys walk the baby steps out. How long you been following Dave Ramsey and Ramsey Solutions? I'm just curious.
3 years.
3 years. Was she all in on this process?
She was 80% in.
80, okay.
No.
All right, and so now all of a sudden she's like, well, we can wiggle. So let me ask you this. When you called us, by the way, it's a good thing Dave's not in today.
Oh.
The call wouldn't have lasted this long. What did you think we were going to say?
Because it's such a short loan and we've got very stable jobs and we make about $240 a year. I knew you wouldn't say yes, but I think you're going to.
How about this? I'll give you a Dave quote since he's not here.
Oh, I like it.
Adults devise a plan and follow it.
Yeah.
Children do what feels good.
Which you did. You did devise a plan and follow it. And here's the deal. You guys make enough money to where you're going to just have to. All right. So here's what I would do if I were you, JT. I'm co-hosting today. So George is the money expert, but I'm just going to lay it out. There's a guy who's been married almost 24 years. This is a marriage conversation.
Yeah.
This is not, you're posing this as a automobile conversation. You got to say, hey, no, we make enough money to save up. There'll be another Snosberry Jeep we can order.
This is a Benjamin Button situation. She's reverting back to childlike form. Okay,
wow,
we can't let this happen. We cannot let this happen, JT. The Snosberry can wait.
By the way,
that is the first and last time I'll ever say that sentence.
I do want to say, JT, thank you for the question because I never even knew what Snosberry is. I'm looking up a suit right now.
It's literally just maroon. It's a maroon Jeep.
Who cares?
There's more maroon Jeeps out there in the world.
Snosberry.
I'm exhausted. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech. You could be next. Get started today at betheltech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, Ramsey personality and host of The Fine Print, joined today by Ken Coleman, host of The Ken Coleman Show, aptly named, and we are taking your calls. 888-825-5225 is the number to call. All right, Ken, this is big. You are in the career space.
Workspace, baby. We're talking about winning at work.
And here's the deal with work. When you work with people, they're called coworkers, and sometimes they can drive you crazy.
And sometimes you drive your coworkers crazy. Do you even know it?
If you don't think you have crazy coworkers, you're the crazy.
That's a great point.
You might be it. And so we've got a list here of some common things that you might do that might be driving your coworkers crazy.
Yeah. Or if you're wondering why you want to switch jobs, these annoying habits may be trying to drive you. You think you want to change careers and you just need a new location because you work with people that make you want to jump off of a cliff.
And here's the thing.
So we got a list.
Caveat this. It can be really difficult to approach a coworker when they're bothering you with something. Because you don't want to start the conflict and go, hey, Ken, you got to stop clipping your toenails.
You know what? I like it. Maybe we'll address how you would approach some of these, but let's dive in here.
Okay.
How about the person who walks through the office or sits near you and they hum or sing?
The hummer.
The hummer or the singer.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. They bring you into a song.
They've got a song in their heart, and they want everyone to know.
And by the way, have you ever noticed that these people, James, they never start at the start of the song? It's always like the song's going in their head, and they just kind of pick it up mid-verse, and we're all left to go, what? What's happening here?
They hit the chorus.
These people James brought up one, the whistler.
Oh, man.
The whistle while you work. We don't want
Nobody
you to
likes
do
a whistler.
That's nails on a chalkboard.
But see, I think it's all the same. The singer, the people who are humming all the time.
It's a lack
whistling.
of self-awareness is what it is.
Yeah. I don't want to be brought into your personal soundtrack.
That's a good line right there. Okay, how about this one, Ken? People who listen to music without headphones.
Oh,
because their playlist is so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put some headphones on. And you know what? Secondary, on airplanes. Put some headphones on.
Yeah.
If you're in any public space, put some headphones on. It's 2022. They're cheap.
I always love the old dude on the airplane who forgets about the concept of the headphones and he starts the movie and it's so loud because he's deaf anyway that we hear it all the way in the back of the airplane.
Yikes.
Yeah. Headphones are good.
All right, next up.
Okay. How about the people that reply all to emails when they shouldn't?
Ooh.
Or they don't reply all when they should. In other words, they just don't have any common sense around emails.
The kids call that cringe.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, cringe.
Here's the one that drives me nuts. James was talking to me about this, and he's right. How about the person who replies with emojis all the time or GIFs?
Yeah.
Do you call them GIFs or GIF?
I'm a GIF guy.
GIF or GIF in the control room?
GIF. I like a well-placed GIF, but it's the people who just only reply in them and you can't get an actual answer out of them.
Yeah,
They've nothing to say.
Right. It's like they're a puppet. They won't be real for any moment of time. And I'll tell you the one that drives me is the last word person. They always got to get the last word.
Oh.
It's clear that the email chain is done. We've resolved our business, and they got to fire one more unnecessary THX exclamation point. Like we all need
THX.
one more email to delete.
What I love is they didn't have the time to just do the ANK.
Right, but they had time to send one more meaningless email. Here's the deal. Nobody ever needs to do the unnecessary thank you.
Less emails in 2022.
Emails.
Let's make
what
that
else
happen.
You got, George?
This one gets me because I'm guilty. Holding a door for you when you're too far away And so you feel like you have to run because the person's just standing there waiting for you.
Yes. Okay. And by the way, have you ever noticed that person's always got this big smile on their face like they're doing you a big favor? Right?
Like you're incapable of opening the door.
I know you're a long way away, but I'm such a stellar human being that I'm going to hold this for you. And it has the opposite effect, doesn't it? What does it do to you when you see that door open from that far away?
It feels like my middle school soccer coach going, let's see some hustle, Camel. Come on.
Let's go. Pick them up. Pick them up. Right.
It's very frustrating. So here's my parameter, Ken. Either you've got to be holding things to where you can't open the door, and then I'm happy to open it, right? If you're holding a bunch of stuff, I feel bad. I'll hold it for 15, 30 seconds. And if you're 10 feet away, I go, all right, that's the parameter. If you're more than 10 feet, just be on your way. I'll open the door myself.
Yeah, you're not a big jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
be
like
kind. We're not saying don't be kind, but don't make it awkward.
All right, George, moving on. Here's one that I think the whole world at work can sympathize with, and that is the disgusting, awful, grotesque food that stinks up the entire floor, not just the break room or the kitchen. I mean, it seeps throughout the entire building. Hey, no one should ever eat fish at work. Ever.
It's a dangerous move.
I don't even care if it's fish sticks from Long John Silver's. No fish.
People are getting fish sticks at Long John Silver's? Is that still a thing?
Somebody's got fast food fish.
We got a list here in case you're wondering. What are those other foods? We got fish. We got sauerkraut, Brussels sprouts.
By the way.
Chicken gizzard. No one's eating chicken gizzard for lunch. Oh, James is pointing to someone in the control room. We'll leave it there.
Someone who had that experience, not that did it.
Oh, so somebody on our team, which shall remain nameless, brought chicken gizzard, which, by the way, I didn't even know what chicken gizzard is.
I don't know where to buy that.
It was at a previous job, so thankfully it's no one here.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the caveat.
James cleared the air.
Don't want to offend anybody here at Ramsey Solutions. What is gizzard? Am I allowed to ask that? Is that?
It's a part of a chicken I never want to touch or eat. That's it.
Here's a general rule of thumb. If you don't know what part of the animal it comes off of, you might not eat it. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Hey, I want to go back a step. Brussels sprouts is on my top 3 awful smells all time.
Wow. Okay. So save it. Do it at home. Good to know.
Yeah.
Not eating around Ken. Now, I will say we've got a cafeteria here at Ramsey Solutions, so there's a lot more places for the smells to go. It's a big open area. Back in the old days, we had the tiny little kitchens and break rooms. Not a lot of place for the smell to go. So be kind.
Who's up next on the list? Is it you or me? I forgot.
I think it's me.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about the awful smells.
I'm going to put this one out there.
Okay.
Sales folks who talk very loudly on the floor.
Oh, 100%. Because you've got this world-class technology, a lot of the salespeople are wearing these kind of deals, right? Not quite as big a mic. And then they got to go over the top.
17 people all talking with their outdoor voices.
Yeah, a lot of fake laughs, too. Salespeople, best fake laughers all time.
Oh, yeah, they'll laugh at anything.
Laugh at anything. Give you, and by the way, not just a laugh, a guffaw. Do you know what a guffaw is?
Leave it to Ken for a $10 word for laugh.
A guffaw is like a chesty laugh, right? We're heaving. A lot of volume, a lot of shaking.
Are you a guffawer?
No.
Okay.
Hurts.
Yeah.
It's not healthy for you. Okay, here's one. How about booking a meeting room that could fit 30 people when there's 3 people?
That one is hilarious to walk by.
It's kind of obnoxious.
Yeah.
Where do we sit? There's too many decisions I have to make prior to the meeting.
That's true. There's plenty of meeting rooms around here.
Yeah. Now, a few things that didn't make this list. This was kind of compiled by some. The conference call etiquette. The Zoom, so when the pandemic hit, like everybody was on Zoom or whatever your platform is for video calls. Drives me nuts. You got romper room going around in the back, right? A lot of distractions. I don't want to be into your life. You have invited me into your life when what we're supposed to be doing is having a meeting.
Is the blur feature where it blurs the background.
See, I didn't even know that existed.
It does, because here's what I do, Ken. I'm judging everything in their house. I'm going, oh, wow.
That's so true.
Yikes.
How am I supposed to pay attention when you've invited me into your life? It's too much for me. I can't process it.
Yeah.
I hate meetings anyway. Just as a general rule, I walk into meetings going, I hate this, and then I hope it's good. I just hate the unnecessary meetings.
Our friend Patrick Lencioni's got the book Death by Meeting.
It's a great book.
And so the meetings that could have been an email, sometimes people just want to hear themselves talk in the room. And that's why we go, let's circle up. Let's meet. We'll circle back.
A
lot of circling.
See, now you're going into a potential another list.
That's for another day, Ken.
And that's overused office jargon.
Well,
you know what I'm talking about? Where people just wear it out. Circle back is a big one.
Yeah.
Another one is, I don't have the bandwidth.
Bandwidth
needs to be banned. From all jargon.
Ban bandwidth.
Yeah. There
From
it is.
Ken Coleman.
Hey,
Well,
if you
it's
are
fun.
doing any of those things, you need to stop it immediately. This is the takeaway.
Yeah.
Because you are the annoying, obnoxious person that nobody wants to be around. So, we all have room for growth.
Ken has called you guys out. Now, luckily, we work with a lot of great folks at Ramsey Solutions. This stuff happens very sparingly.
Yeah, James only does about 2 of those.
This is James's personal list of things that you bother him with.
That I
this.
do.
Yeah.
This was James. This was an email from James going, Ken, I'd really like you to improve in these areas.
Good stuff. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, joined today by Ken Coleman. And in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, we've got Marzo and Rosa. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Where are you guys from?
We're from the Dallas area, a small town called Carrollton, Texas.
Awesome. Yes, I know of Carrollton. All right. How much have you guys paid off?
We paid off $46,000, $177.43.
Wow. Okay.
In 10 months.
10 months. And what was your range of income during that time?
It was about 65,000, and now we're at about 90.
Whoa!
All right.
Way to go.
What do you guys do for a living?
I work in accounts payable for a big chain of family restaurants, entertainment restaurants, and
I work for UPS at the warehouse.
Very
Nice.
cool.
All
I've been there for 20 years already.
Oh, good for you.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about this debt. What made up the $46,177.43?
Okay, we had of course, we had to buy a swing set for our boys,
Gotta do it.
and we put that on the credit card.
Sure.
And we also had my student loans and from my one of my master's degrees, and then we had a van, the minivan, a car loan.
So we have the credit cards, student loans, car
We also
loan.
had a personal loan that we found out a bit after we thought we were done.
You
So
found out?
we forgot, going way back to when we first got married and we got our first home, my mom did help us, right, by letting us borrow to help us with the down payment. And we only had like $1,000, and she lent us about $3,000, and we hadn't paid it off apparently.
And you just
So
forgot.
we
Like-
did.
Yeah, we
like
did.
Because it was my mom,
Wow.
I know. I should have been more responsible, but I was not.
Mom's paid back now. We're all
Yes, she
squared
is.
away.
She is.
Okay.
Yes.
So 10 months, that's a fast journey. What happened 10 months ago where you said no more?
Well, honestly, it's weird how God works in mysterious ways, but I was actually looking for a podcast that would help us with our teenager that we were kind of struggling with, parenting and all of that. And I came across Dr. Meg Meeker, and in one of her commercial breaks, I think it was the Dave Ramsey Show. So I was like, I've heard of him before, but what is he about? And, of course, I looked him up and I started listening to the podcast, and certain things just started to click, and I shared with him, and I said, yeah, you should start listening to it too. And I played a few clips of it for him, and he was in on it right away. I downloaded everything, and we started listening to it, and we were in, and we just sat down, and, it actually, it was so difficult because I had just left teaching, but then I had jobs that were not really permanent. They were through like agencies, and so, but we were still doing really bad financial things, like putting, the swing set on a credit card, and then I got several jobs, but once we got the ball rolling with all of this, I said, you know what? We don't want to pay, we don't want to take 5 years to pay the minivan. I want to pay it off ASAP. So it all happened during the pandemic. And what was easy for us to realize was that we were spending so much money eating out when I was teaching because we made a lot of money, so why not? We could spend it. So
Definitely. Wow. That was, for me, I think the pandemic was a
blessing.
The blessing to start knowing that we were spending a lot of money.
It caused you to pay attention for once.
Yeah, exactly. So at that moment, when the pandemic started, we decided to cut a lot of expenses that we were doing, for like example, going out to eat every weekend, going to the movies every weekend. We were spending like maybe $1,500 to $1,600 every month on going out.
Just having a good time.
Yes, just having a good time.
That was more than our mortgage payment.
Yes,
oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that was the realization, honestly. And the pandemic actually helped us do that, because we couldn't really go out and go to the movies and go to, so, but yeah, and of course the stimmies did help with that to help us pay off stuff. But I'm a hustler, and not that he's not, he is, he's been there for 20 years, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to go do Uber while you are at work in the evenings. And I drove the kids around. I drove, my mom was in the car with me, just like, you can keep them in the car, and I'll stay in the car with them, and you go down and deliver that food and make that money. And so I was making myself a goal of every week what I was going to pay down with the money I was making with Uber Eats. I taught online, ESL, and then what other jobs did I have? I forgot. I was a tax preparer.
Taxes.
Yes, I was a tax preparer.
You could do it all.
Immigration stuff also.
Helping people with
You're like the Mary Poppins of side hustles. What was the most lucrative side hustle? What were you making?
I think tax preparing, just because all of this debt-free journey, the end result, and just by the grace of God, we've been able to cash flow the beginning of my business, which is, it's a multi-services now. So and in this year. So
good for you. So what would you tell people is the key to getting out of debt?
Well, to me, the key is definitely having a budget.
To sit down and write the numbers down,
Yeah,
right?
because that's when you know exactly where your money goes, and that's how you can have the real control of your money. No, it doesn't matter how much money you make, but if you have the control of your money, you're gonna have a better future.
Yeah, what matters is what you do with the money. So
beautifully said.
I agree. I think that writing the numbers down and using that Every Dollar app really helped us know, okay, we're going to assign every single dollar a name, a category. And I feel like that's what makes you realize where, like I said, where your money's going. Where do you want it to go? Where do you want it to go?
Yeah, you guys just needed a plan and some focus. I mean, you were just kind of floating around and spending, not knowing what was going on.
And you know what? We realized that we were actually Dave-ish before we even knew about Dave. We had done a few things, like we did create an emergency fund, which of course it wasn't an emergency, but we were like, oh, let's finish paying off, the $529 for our 18-year-old since he's about to go to college. So we paid about $21,000 that was left for that to pay that off, and that was not part of the debt-free journey that we mentioned earlier. So it was technically over $60,000, but we did that before coming across Dave, and we were like, wait, we did that all the wrong way.
Everything's out of order.
Yeah, out of order.
Yes.
But now we're on the right path. Yeah.
We're so proud of you guys.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Thank you so much.
We're on baby step 6, and if God, we're gonna know God's gonna help us, and our goal is to pay off our $150,000 home loan in about 5 years.
Good.
Wow.
For you. Great job.
Well, you are on that path, and you brought all the family with you.
We brought our 3 boys.
You want to get them on up here? What are their names and ages?
So this one is Sebastian, and he is 6 years old. And this is Abdiel. He's 3, and they've been practicing their scream.
Good.
And this is Hadet or Jarrett, who is 18.
Wow,
Fantastic.
beautiful family.
Thank you.
And here we are, all debt-free with the matching T-shirts.
Yep.
I love a good matching T-shirt.
Who doesn't?
This is incredible. All right, so you've been practicing, which is exciting. We've got a copy of Dave's Baby Step Millionaires book, and you get the back says the borrower's slave to the lender. That's fantastic.
That's right.
So that's your next chapter, is to become millionaires, to pay off that house, following the baby steps. We're so excited for you, and we're going to give you a copy of the Total Money Makeover to start someone else's journey to debt freedom. I love it. All right, here we go. We got Marzo and Rosa and Jared and Sebastian and Abdiel from the Dallas, Texas area. $46,000 paid off in 10 months, making $65,000 all the way up to $90,000 with some side hustles and everything you can imagine getting thrown at it. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Ready, boys? 3, 2, 1.
We are debt-free!
Way to go, guys.
That was cute.
Yes, the little man wins the cute award there.
Oh, my
that
goodness.
was fun.
I love to see that. Those kids are never going to be the same.
That's right.
Because of those parents' sacrifice. That's what this is all about. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, joined today by Ken Coleman. Well, folks, if you've been watching the news or breathing at all, the housing market is really hot. And so your house could be worth a lot more today than it was when you bought it. And that also means your old insurance policy might not give you enough coverage anymore. And what's the point of paying for insurance that won't swing the cost to repair or rebuild your home? Now, some policies will automatically raise your coverage to cover rising home prices or material costs, but not all of them. So if your home's value has gone up or it's been over a year since you checked your homeowner's policy, you've got to talk to one of our endorsed local providers in your area. Our ELPs are independent agents who will compare multiple policies to find the best coverage for your home and your budget. That's why they're Ramsey trusted, because they'll put you first, period. Go to RamseySolutions.com/home to talk with a trusted home insurance pro today. That's RamseySolutions.com/home. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why they are the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every single month, you can save even more. You can use the promo code Ramsey to get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Drew in North Carolina. I'm a senior leader at a large company, and due to some issues in my area, I need to move on before I become jaded. In my position, you don't just give 2 weeks notice and walk out the door, so I am in the middle of a month-long handoff of my responsibilities. My challenge is that my employees are also starting to question the culture and financial insolvency. I don't think it's ethical to lie to them and tell them to hang in there, but I also don't want to be viewed as planting toxic seeds on my way out. I truly believe in my I truly believe that my department will be shut down this year. Should I be honest with them about why I'm leaving, or try to stay neutral and say something like, you are very observant and you need to make a decision based on what you see? This feels very complex, and it's not. Many times, the best way out of complexity is simplicity. And I don't think it's your challenge, Drew. I think it's the company's challenge. Because they're already starting to question issues anyway. They probably were when you were still there and not on your way out the door. I don't think this is your cross to bear. It feels like it. I think you're a good guy. But I don't think it's that big of an issue. I think you've got to take the high road. Now, you can define what the high road means to you. The high road to me in this situation means I'm going to say something like you just shared, which is, hey, you need to make your own observations. You need to ask your own questions. This is no longer the right place for me. I definitely have some issues, but that is between you, and you need to give them another leader that they need to be talking to. I think you take the high road here, and less is more.
Yeah, he's feeling this moral obligation to kind of save them.
It's not his job to save them.
But I think
They're
he's got to go. He can be very respectful. He doesn't have to trash the company on his way out.
That's right.
But I think the team's going to start to see the writing on the wall as more and more leaders leave and team members leave, and they go, we see this.
Yeah, it's not his job to answer their questions.
Thanks for the question, Drew. Appreciate that. All right, let's go to the phone lines this hour. They are open if you want to give us a call, 888-825-5225. Giselle joins us in New Orleans. Let's go, Giselle. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, George. Hi, Ken. How are y'all doing today?
Great. How can we help?
First of all, I just want to give a shout out to the YouTube community. They've been super helpful already.
That's awesome to hear.
My question is, real quick. So I'm technically on baby step 7.
Wow.
I'm 12.
What do you
years
mean
old.
technically? That always worries me.
But I'm currently, I guess my birthday's at the end of the month, but so 27, 28, but I am renting at the moment.
I think you missed the point of George's question. How are you technically in baby step 7?
Oh, because I'm renting at the moment, and I do have my baby step 3B done. But I would like to buy a house later on in life.
Ah, good for you. Okay, very good.
Okay, so you're kind of in that 4 to 6 land. You've started investing 15%?
Yes.
Okay. And you've got the down payment saved, but you're not ready to buy.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to wait till later on in life to buy.
Good for you. Good discipline.
All right. So what's your question today?
Yeah, so I'm currently contributing to a traditional 401k. I have a bit in there, but I recently found out my company also offers a Roth 401k. So I guess my question is, should I, since I'm still young, convert my full traditional to the Roth 401k and then just start contributing to the Roth 401k, or leave the traditional and just switch to contributing to the Roth 401k?
The latter is what you want to do. I would leave the traditional over here right now. We don't do that until we're at baby step 7 with a paid-for house. That is when we can take the tax hit and when it's worth it, because otherwise we want that money going towards the house. So leave it in the traditional side, begin investing in that Roth side. You've got the right mentality. This is going to be a much better plan for you at your age to be able to get that money tax-free on the Roth side and pay taxes on it now.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah,
Thank you all so much.
congratulations.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
way to go. She's disciplined. She's
Good
on
stuff.
her way.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to Seattle, Washington. Justin joins us there. Justin, what is going on?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Great. How can we help?
So my girlfriend's parents convinced my girlfriend that credit score matters, and they got her a credit card, and now she plans on using that credit card to buy a car.
Oh, boy.
How do I convince her that that is a very bad idea and that she needs to have a surgery with her credit card and get rid of it?
Well, a simple answer, Justin. Sell the girlfriend. There it is.
Hey, George Camel, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be here all week.
Yeah. Not a bad idea. I'll add to that really quickly because George will give you some really tactical advice. I think you fake the snowflake syndrome, Justin. Are you aware of what this is?
I am not.
This is a passive-aggressive, you ghost her for a little bit and give her the silent treatment. And you make her, she's like, why is Justin not, you know what I mean? Like total silence. This is what women do very well to men.
The silent treatment, the cold shoulder?
The cold shoulder, and the guy's trying to figure out what's going on. I think you reverse it, and you just really, and the snowflake syndrome part of it is you act like you're very offended or that you're shook. you're shook by the suggestion that she would buy a car on a credit card and just let her see how it just really freaks you out, man.
Justin, I know we've been unhelpful so far, so
I actually think that'll help with this conversation.
It might.
It'll set you up for George's tactics.
Justin, you like this girl, right? How long you been together?
Now, we've been together for coming up on 5 years now.
Oh, 5 years.
Whoa. Is there a future here?
I'm wondering, what have the money conversations been like? Clearly, you've talked about your values around money, right?
Yeah, so I definitely want to stay debt-free, have no credit cards. My parents have been following you guys for years, and they're getting out of debt using your guys' method. And I just want to take the next step, and I want to become a millionaire, but credit cards are not the way to go.
Well, I think you have an honest conversation that isn't attacking her. It's not, hey, you got to cut up the card today. It's, hey, listen, my plan is to become a millionaire. I'd love for you to be a part of that plan as we move towards marriage. And I know that a credit card is not going to be helpful in getting there, and here's why. And I can give you a third-party tool. We did an episode all about this on my podcast, The Fine Print, and it is episode 7, The Dirty Truth Behind Your Credit Score. We also have one in episode 2, The True Cost of Credit Card Rewards.
Ooh.
So here's what I would do. Listen to that together.
Yes.
Sit down and listen to it, and it'll spark some conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the reason she wants to get the credit card, Ken, we could argue against, say, well, listen, we just proved to you that that's not the case.
Right.
You don't need your credit score to do any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's easy ways around it. You can live your life without the score. You can live your life without the card. And you can live your life without debt. So, Justin, I'm going to encourage you to do both of those things and get on the same page. And truthfully, if you can't align on those values, I don't see this being a long-term relationship beyond this.
It's already long-term at 5 years.
5 years, man.
Justin, we got to get this figured out pretty quick, man.
I didn't want to propose until we got this straightened out.
Absolutely right.
I know that the number one cause of divorce is money problems.
This guy gets it. Justin, listen, we're rooting for you, man. I want her to get on the same page. I don't want it to become her parents versus your opinion. That's a dangerous game to play. So get her on board. If not, we might have to sell the girlfriend.
I really like the shock and awe.
There we go.
Be sensitive about it.
That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it.
Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, this is The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life, your money, your work, your purpose, your career, your toxic boss. We are here for you. I'm George Campbell, joined today by Ramsey personality Ken Coleman. The phone lines are open. 888-825-5225 is the number to call. That's 888-825-5225. Wayne kicks off this hour in Kansas City. Wayne, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can we help?
So I've got a 21-year, going on 22-year-old son who I've been estranged with for about the past 7 or more years. And we've recently reconnected and are redeveloping our relationship.
Good.
But he has he's graduated from high school. He tried college for about 1.5 years and decided that it wasn't for him. But in the midst of all that, he was battling a mental health issue, which has now been addressed, and he's on the path to recovery with all the proper, medical support. But he has never had a job. He doesn't have any money, and he just feels stuck and hopeless about moving on with his life. And I want to be able to help him the best I can. And I've heard of your books, the proximity principle and the paycheck to
Purpose.
Purpose.
There we go.
Yeah, and I didn't know if either one of those would be good, or if there's some other resource that I could help him or get him connected with.
Yeah. Well, here's what
motivated.
here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you the From Paycheck to Purpose book, and I'm also going to give you the Get Clear Career Assessment, which is a 20-minute online assessment that will really help him because he can answer questions. He doesn't have to think. He just answers questions, and it's going to help him. It'll also give you a conversation to have with him. Once he gets his results on talent, passion, and mission, and begins to see the purpose statement, and whether it's 100% accurate or not, because he's not a whole, he doesn't have a whole bunch of experience. It doesn't matter. It's a great conversation point. But But I'm just curious, because you've been out of his life for a while, now you're back in. Would you be able to confidently tell me what you think his top talents are? Not super specific. I don't want to put you on the spot as much as I this is where we want to start with him, and I'll unpack it in a second. What would you say that he has the most to offer the world at work from a talent standpoint?
Well, he has actually specifically told me at one point that he would like to be a movie script editor.
Okay.
And that's very specific. He loves movies.
Good.
He's also very, like most of today's generation, is very heavily into online gaming. And he's also mentioned something about wanting to work in a comic book store or something along those lines, just to get started. I'm not talking about for lifelong.
No, I understand. Okay, so I want to go back to the question, and I want you to tell me what you think he's really good at. But I want to pause, because in the answers you gave me, that's actually what we need to start with. He just needs a job to get him out of this rut that he's in. So, for instance, if he could get a job at a comic book store and he's only making $12 an hour, or good heavens, in today's environment, he's probably going to start at $15 for all I know. But that's good because now he's working and he is making money, and coach him along with how to, by the way, we'll give you any financial resources today that'll help him, and teach him about money, and he gets a little mojo. He's no longer stuck, because he's actually working and he's making money, and he just happens to be working maybe in not the most exciting job in the world, but he's in an area that he's interested in. All right, so that's the first thing.
Right.
Okay, but I want to go back to, what do you think his top talents are? If you were to tell me, people skills or some type of technical hard skill, what would you say he's best at doing?
I would say at this point, from what I know, it's mostly technical, on the technical side.
Okay, great.
He knows me. He is on top of the latest and greatest technology. I mean, he's blowing me out of the water.
Okay, great.
With the stuff he talks to me about.
Okay, great.
He knows everything about all the latest phones and games and online.
Is he verbally gifted? Has he always done well in verbal type classes, like maybe English or reading comprehension? Does he have strong verbal skills?
Yes, he does.
All right, that's what I'm looking for, and that matches up to what he told you. While it's super specific, he's 21, and I actually love when a 21-year-old or somebody young can give you something very specific. Doesn't mean that's where they're going to end up, but it is a really clear clue. And so, Dad, listen to me. You just told me he's verbally gifted, and he told you he wants to be a movie script editor. That's super specific, but what he's saying is, I want to work with words. I'm intrigued by stories and narratives and words, because, see, a person who's an editor, whether it be film editing, audio editing, or copy editing, is a detailed person by nature. Is that lining up with what you know about your son?
Oh, huge. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. He's very detail-oriented. He notices details, and not only does your son notice details, it makes him happy when they're in order, right? When things are in order the way they're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's the deal. We want to steer him into those conversations. Hey, son, I love the idea about the movie script editing. What are some other editing, detail-oriented things around storytelling and things of that nature, and get him, just have fun conversations, because you've been out of his life for 7 years. This is good dad-son stuff, but it's got a deeper purpose to it. Don't try to help him figure it all out. Just say, that's really great. There's a clue here. You're good at that stuff. I was talking to your mom, and I was talking to your old English teacher, and begin to show him evidence that there is a pattern of talents in his life. Okay, now the Get Clear Career Assessment we're going to give you, it's also going to pull a lot of this out. But what I want you to do is help him and encourage him just to get a decent hourly job, or maybe 2 part-time jobs in areas of interest for him. It could be at the bottom rung of the ladder, Dad. It doesn't matter, because we need to get this kid some momentum right now as he begins to discover more about what he could do, where he could do it, and how he gets there. And the book From Paycheck to Purpose is going to explain the entire path, and we'll give you the assessment as well, the Get Clear Career Assessment.
I'm pumped for him. And another thing you could do is, even, in Kansas City, I'd go, hey, what high school film classes, college film classes, maybe I could jump in and volunteer and start to get my feet wet.
Love that idea.
Editing some of these movie scripts at a low level to get some experience.
Love that idea.
There's a lot of things you can do practically, and I love him jumping in this. And I love a dad who just wants to encourage his son like that. We need more dads like that.
Yeah, this isn't just for Wayne. This is for other parents. When your kid or somebody in your life, just a friend or family, tells you they're stuck, push back gently on that. They're not stuck. They're scared. I can tell you this. It's one of 2 things. They're scared of something happening, or they doubt that something can happen. Fear and doubt. That's what makes them feel stuck. Get to the source of that. How do we alleviate the doubt or alleviate the fear, and now we're unstuck?
Those are the enemies of impact.
Yeah. Hang on the line, Wayne. We're going to get you those resources.
Thanks for the call, Wayne. This is The Ramsey Show.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, joined today by Ken Coleman. Listen, guys, we all know time is important. It's more precious than money, shiny toys, or winning certificates at work. And like spending money from an account, when you don't know how much is in it, we never know how much time we have. So if you could do one thing that would make the time you have even more worthwhile, wouldn't you do it? Sure you would. We get that, and we want you to have everything you need to be well. That's why we're partnering with BetterHelp to give you a month of free one-on-one weekly therapy when you pre-order a copy of Dr. John Deloney's book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. Who does that? That's incredible. You're never too old or too young to improve your health and make your relationships stronger. And your free month of one-on-one weekly therapy will help you get the tools that you need to change your future. Because you'll get matched up with a therapist based on your specific needs. This is a life-changing combo. Dr. John's book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future, it'll make you laugh, maybe even cry, and it will challenge you for sure. When you take the steps that Dr. D outlines and take advantage of the free therapy, you will also be transformed. This is an incredible deal. Get your free therapy sessions by pre-ordering Own Your Past, Change Your Future for only $20 at RamseySolutions.com today. Good stuff. Adam joins us up next in Minneapolis. Adam, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, George and Ken. How are you guys doing?
Great. How can we help?
Just curious. I have a Roth option in my 401k at my job, which I'm currently putting 8% in. That gives me the full match that they'll provide. Within it, though, I can pick the funds and things that I want to choose. And I'm just curious if I can use that vehicle for my full 15%, or if I should take the other 7 and, use an ELP and put into a Roth or whatever.
That's a great question, Adam. So you're saying you've got the Roth, you're doing the 8% match, and you're going, hey, what do I do with the other 7?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I personally do, and that might make the answer real simple for you. I do all 15% of my investing in our company Roth 401k here at Ramsey Solutions, because we have some great investment options. So that's what it comes down to. If it's all Roth, that's what we want. You're getting the match, which Roth comes next. You've already got the Roth. And so it comes down to, do we have good options to invest in these funds? Do we have good performing funds with a great track record that would be good for your future? And so it sounds like you have that.
Correct.
Yeah, then I keep it simple, Ken. I like to just go all 15%. It's on autopilot. I never even see it in my paycheck. And then one day we just become millionaires.
And let's point out here, maybe for new listeners or new viewers, that's your 15%. That's not including the match.
That's
You're doing
right.
15% of your check, and then whatever Ramsey Solutions matches is in addition to that.
That's right. So he's got 8%, but he's already putting in 8% to get that match. So we're going to do an additional 7.
Right.
Fantastic, Adam. Way to go, man.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. All right, we're moving on to Dayton, Ohio. Sierra joins us there. How are you?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Thank you for taking my call.
You bet.
So I'm at a crossroads right now in my life, especially financially. I just don't know my next step.
Hey,
And I'm
Sierra.
just hoping,
Sierra, could you adjust your phone a little bit? You sound like you're in a tunnel.
I apologize. Is that better?
A little bit. Let's try it. Let's just keep it close to your mouth as possible. Go ahead.
Okay. So, like I was saying, I'm just at a crossroads right now in my life, especially financially. I don't know my next step. And I'm just hoping for help from you guys on where or how, how do I go from here and succeed?
Okay, so what's going on? Tell us about the situation.
Okay, so the situation is I was homeless prior to April of last year. I moved into a 2-bedroom apartment, small, and was fairly sufficing up until around November, December, where funds were getting low. I wasn't able to work as much. I've got some medical issues going on, and my availability when I could work was only part-time, and I was working through a temp agency. I left the temp agency to go help a friend who has a business doing tax preparation, and told them, I needed, my situation, what my bills were, and they led me to believe that they could help. Well, I got into that job, and it just wasn't covering any of my bills. My lease is up in April, and I'm not employed right now. I have zero money coming in. I have about $9,000 in savings. My debt is $200 on a credit card, and the rest is about $3,300 in student loans. I'm in school currently for business online. I have 2 children in home. They're ages 3 and 5. And, at April, once my lease is up, I don't know what to do. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have anything lined up. I have no income coming in, and I'm just overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry, Sierra. So you said the kids, where are they?
My 2 children in the home, they're 3 and 5.
Okay, so they're with you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, are you cash flowing school right now? Are you going to debt?
I'm sorry?
Are you cash flowing the school?
I have loans and financial aid.
Okay. So the loans, the $3,300 you mentioned, that's it right now?
Yes.
And are able to cash flow the rest of it, or are you going to have to go further into debt?
I'll accumulate more loan as I continue in school. I'm not done until the end of next year.
What are you trying to, what kind of degree are you trying to get? Or more importantly, where do you think that degree is going to take you? What's the aim?
So it's a degree in business.
To do what?
Well, I haven't decided.
Uh-huh.
This is more like the fundamentals, skill-based type. It's just associates right now.
Okay. So, Sierra, George is going to give you some very tactical financial advice, but I want to drop this in really quick, hand it back to George.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You need to get a job. This is the hottest job market in the history of our country. I'm not trying to make it sound just effortless, but I am telling you, you need a job. And I understand you got 2 little ones at home, but you're going to have to figure that out because you need some income coming in the door. And I would pause the school stuff too, because you got to get your financial house in order. The school will always be there if we even need it. George, take it over from here. She needs a job.
I want to make sure
quickly.
we have aim for what this degree is going to do before we just get one to get one.
Yeah, well, that's not important right now.
So, Sierra, on the financial side, here's what I want you to do. I know you got $9,000 to your name, but I want you to pay off the credit card and the student loan today. That's about $3,500 total.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's going to leave you with $4,500 to your name.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got your starter emergency fund. I don't know what 3 to 6 months of expenses looks like for you, but that would be the next goal, because what that's going to give you is some financial peace. It's going to give you a stable foundation so that when you do have income coming in, it's not going back out to lenders. And if you do have a job loss, you're going to be okay for a few months while you find a new one. Does that make sense?
Cool.
Does it scare you to lose some of that $9,000 right now?
Just right now, it does. When I had income coming in, not so much.
Yeah. Well, you're going to get that real soon because, like Ken said, you're going to go get a job this week, and those payments are going to get freed up. And so you're going to have actually more cash flow coming in when you do have a job because none of it is going to lenders anymore.
Sierra, let me just encourage you on something very practical. Walmart is offering just an hourly position. They're offering tuition. I mean, you shouldn't have to pay for that tuition. If you want to go work at Walmart, go work at Walmart right now. There's no shame in that. You got to go get some income. Hang on the line. I want to give her From Paycheck to Purpose. Read the book when you have a little bit of spare time on that big picture. George, what else do we want to give her on the financial stuff?
I'm going to send you a copy of the Total Money Makeover as well to go along with that to help you on the financial side. But Sierra,
you can do this.
You've gotten beaten down, and we want to give you some hope that it doesn't have to stay this way, and you don't have to stay in the cycle. You can get out of this. There is a lot of hope for you. We're cheering you on. This is The Ramsey Show.
Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use Netsuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use Netsuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because Netsuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ramsey personality George Camel, joined today by Ken Coleman. You know, Ken, I'm a millennial, and therefore I'm on like every social media platform there is out there.
Well, not only are you not on it, George, but there are times like earlier today, I needed to ask you a question. I wanted to do something fun on the old Instagram. It
was tech support.
Wasn't sure how to do it. Who do I go to? George Campbell.
It made me feel young, and it made you look old, so I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, well, I embrace it.
So one of these platforms, everyone's heard about it, is TikTok. It's very polarizing. People have a lot of feelings about it, but I'll tell you there's some...
Is that right?
Yeah, there's some great entertaining content, some great content creators, the same people who make...
I've done some things on the TikTok.
Yeah, they're great.
By the way, I like to call it the TikTok.
That makes
just
you
to
seem even
irritate.
older.
Well, that's the whole point. It's kind of a built-in joke. Drives my kids nuts.
I can imagine. It's driving me nuts.
You know what else I say? The Google.
Oh, boy.
Drives my kids nuts. Hey, they ask me a question, and I literally go, I don't know, look it up on the Google.
You're one step closer to John Deloney calling it the internets.
It's
we
funny.
get it, guys.
It's funny
we
to
get
us.
it.
John and I are in our 40s. Leave us alone.
As long as you guys are
All right, so anyway, the TikTok.
So here's the deal. I get a lot of financial type videos because of the things I engage with and see.
Yeah, you're an expert and you're relevant.
Yes, and a lot of this advice, I'm going to say 99% is just abhorrent financial advice.
I can't even imagine
what's
what's
my
out there.
blood boil, and it's
Yeah.
encouraging a lot of young people to do a lot of stupid things.
Oh, sure.
And I can see the future where they're hopefully calling into our show asking for help because they did a dumb thing. So I want to play a video and get your reaction and see what you think about this.
So we're going to play a TikTok.
We're going to go picture in picture here.
This is very exciting.
You ready?
Very exciting.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Here we go.
This is the #1 real estate investing strategy that I use to become a millionaire.
Oh,
It's
that's a
called
little
the
over the
BRRRR
top.
method.
Oh,
B,
jeez.
buy a property for a good price or below market value that preferably needs some TLC.
Okay.
R, renovate or repair the property so
Lot of
that
jump
you
cuts.
can make it attractive
Take the
to
fur
future
off
tenants who will
inside.
pay the rent. R, rent out the property to a tenant with good credit.
Oh, boy.
R, refi.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, boy.
Once you have revenue coming into your property and you build some equity, you
Yep.
go back to the bank
That's
and
it.
get a
Nothing
cash
could
refi.
go wrong.
Or repeat this process again with the money the bank gave you and buy another revenue property.
Of course.
For
It's
more
that
real estate
simple.
facts and tips,
Oh, here we
follow me
go.
on TikTok and Instagram.
Okay, now
Wow.
so first of all, there was already a little too much pep in that interview, in that whole thing,
Lot of
whatever
pep
you
in the
call that.
step.
But then she went TikTok at the end, and I completely forgot everything she said before that.
Well, she's got a future as an actress if the real estate thing doesn't work out. A lot of acting going on there.
The real estate thing is not going to work out for her, George.
Well,
this is an old playbook.
This is old school, brought to a new school platform. And here's what it's doing. The young kids out there, kids in their 20s and their 30s, my age, they're going,
Yeah.
this is my path because I am saddled with student loan debt. I'm
Yeah.
living off credit cards. I've got a car payment. I need a way to make a lot of money fast.
Go into debt now, even more debt, and then sell it. Oh, no, rent it to a renter,
It's a
then repeat the
foolproof
process.
plan.
She basically said, go into debt, have somebody rent it, and then repeat the process, go into more debt,
It
and build
reminds
up
me
more renters.
of a young Dave Ramsey pre-bankruptcy.
See, this is my point. This is what Dave did before the TikTok.
Oh, boy.
Can you imagine Dave doing that video 35, 40
With hair?
some years ago?
Sorry. You just visualized it, didn't you?
With a fake leather jacket and a big chain, maybe? Dave doing that like all those years ago?
With
It's
a
the
Pinto
same-
behind him? Yeah. Here's the deal.
What's the danger in that, George? Now, we're having fun.
Yeah.
She's a little peppy.
Well-
but that's the thing these kids do. By the way, real quick thing. I don't know how old she was, but it's at some point, there's types of TikToks you shouldn't do. Like there's types of clothes I shouldn't wear as
Yes.
a 47-year-old man.
Yeah, agreed.
It's the same thing.
Well,
I
aside from
digress.
that, we'll talk about the advice here. So our plan, as you know, if you've listened to the show for 10 seconds, is to become debt-free and stay debt-free. Because we have found, based on lots of in-depth research with our millionaire study, based on 10 million people following our plan, that the best path to financial success, to building wealth, is to become debt-free and stay debt-free, including your mortgage. So what this advice is saying, which is diametrically opposed, in case you're wondering, is saying that you need to maximize every possible dollar of bank debt you can get access to. So here's the idea. Leverage debt out your eyeballs to have maximum cash flow and hope that everything works out perfectly on paper.
Yeah. And then you will, in a matter of years, have a private jet that you can pose next to because of the Instagram influencers you follow, and they're driving this drivel into people's heads. Okay, let's talk about real practically what could go wrong. with what she
What
said.
could go wrong? Well,
no, seriously. Hold on. I'm gonna tee you up. You're the
Okay,
financial
sure,
expert, right?
sure.
So you buy the first house like Pepe told us to. Okay? And right now it's the top of the market, certainly in the United States.
Yeah.
We've had
You're going to put as little down as possible if you're following the strategy.
little down as possible. Everybody stay with me. Now, let me tell you the facts. We've had a moratorium on evictions, rentals, right? We've had a moratorium on bankruptcies or foreclosures. Trump and Biden continuing this. That's going to lift here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a lot of bad stuff hitting the streets, and it's going to create more supply, which what happens, George, when we have more supply and less demand?
Bad things.
Housing prices go down. Now you bought a house at the top. I'm just talking
It's now
this
worth a
thing
lot
through.
less.
It's worth a lot less.
And you still have that giant mortgage.
And yet you still have the mortgage, and you still got to pay for it.
And you're
rent-
hoping that you can get a good, solid tenant who's going to pay on time every time.
But you may have to drop the rent because the rent you can't charge what the rent was at the top of the market.
Which hurts your profits because you're stuck paying this giant mortgage payment because you had nothing down on this property.
Yeah. Then what continues to happen,
Then there's
George?
property taxes, there's insurance, there's all the maintenance.
What happens
the
if you
upkeep.
can't pay that, George?
Well, foreclosure could happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you go back to Instagram
And you multiply
look for
this
her.
out.
What do you do? What has she got for you on on TikTok after that happens to you?
Well, they
Is
never
there
talk
another
about that
video?
part. They don't talk about when it goes wrong. It's all the
Oh.
promises of what could be and all the money you could make and the cash flow that could happen. Could. Then
I think we've made our point.
we
Don't
find-
take real estate advice from the TikTok.
I think we're going to see a whole new generation of the young Dave Ramseys who are filing for bankruptcy and going, well, that was a bad move. I was leveraged with 10 properties and $1 million in debt. And I've seen these TikToks, people bragging that they're $15 million in debt.
Oh, yeah. By the way, can I point out something else on all these platforms, whether it be Facebook, Insta, TikTok? Anytime you see one of these, here's how you get really stinking rich videos, they always play the part. The giant fur standing next to a private jet.
Real estate guru.
They're enticing people into a trap, and it is all about stuff. Every one of those videos, by the way, and I'm going to step on some toes here, I don't care. Because every one of those influencers that do this, they are selling an unbelievably extravagant lifestyle.
Yep.
They're not selling purpose. They're not selling financial peace. They're not selling significant contribution to your fellow man. They're not.
It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. What they're selling you is risk.
It's all lifestyles of the rich and famous. Caviar. All that crap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Every time it's a trap. They're leveraged out of their eyeballs, and they manage to somehow dodge the bullet.
Yep.
And they're trying to recreate it, and they're getting rich, not off of their real estate strategies.
Off
they're
their
getting
courses.
rich off of their courses.
That tell you how to do it like they did.
Oh, there I've gone and done.
Oh, man.
I stepped in
You're
it.
riled up,
I
Ken.
stepped in it there a little bit. I'm not mentioning names.
Here's the problem.
They're
You
all
see a video
over.
like that, and you're a 20-something-year-old who's strapped with debt, who doesn't have a great income, who's
It
not
looks
doing
like the
something they
fast
love.
lane, baby.
And they go, absolutely, I'm going to do
Yeah,
this. And
sure.
they get starry-eyed. They only see the upside, and they're
Yeah.
delusional about the downside.
By the way, there's no hard work in that. It's just go down and get a loan and then play out this 7-step process that Johnny Rich Boy told me on Instagram.
And do a bunch of cash-out refis to stay in debt for the rest of your life.
It's a giant motivational trap.
Don't do this, guys. Please, please, please. If you see financial advice on TikTok that sounds too good to be true,
it is.
It's a trap. And if you follow the trends, you will fall for the traps. That's what I say, Ken.
George, you said it well.
Thank you.
Say it again.
If you follow the trends, you will fall for the traps.
Ooh.
And that goes with crypto and NFTs and zero down real estate. You name it. There's always a new trend out there that's the newest get-rich-quick scheme. And I'll tell you, read through Proverbs. I don't care if you're a person of faith or not. Read through Proverbs. It speaks against all these get-rich-quick schemes that we're seeing today, Ken.
By the way, have you noticed all the get-rich advice on social and all the VHS tapes years gone by? I'll tell you what that is on a commercial break. What a
Thank you.
You know, it's never free.
What?
You always got to pay for the course.
Ooh, there it is.
I tell you how to get rich, but you got to pay for the course. $29.99.
Do it the slow way. That's the best way to get rich and stay rich.
Yeah.
This is The Ramsey Show. This is The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, joined today by Ken Coleman. Our scripture of the day comes from Ecclesiastes 5, verses 4 and 5. When you make a vow to God, do not delay to fulfill it. He has no pleasure in fools. Fulfill your vow. It is better not to make a vow than to make one and not fulfill it. That's integrity. That's good stuff. Phillips Brooks said, character may be manifested in the great moments, but it is made in the small ones. That's good. Both all about integrity there. All right, let's head to the phone lines. Josh joins us next in West Palm Beach. Josh, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Wonderful. How can Ken and I help?
Yeah, well, I've got a bit of a pickle here. So my wife, Sweet Fiona, and I bought our first house down here in Jupiter, Florida 2 years ago, right before Florida exploded real estate-wise. So we got a good deal on the house. We've got some debt. We both have student loans. We've got a couple cars, things like that. And now we're trying to get serious about following the baby steps. So we're on baby step 2. I've got an opportunity. I mean, I guess everybody here does. But I got an opportunity to sell our home and make a pile of money on it, up to $200,000 takeaway profit, which would get us out of debt. But, of course, it would put us in a situation where we'd have to rent. The rent's really high here. We may end up having to move to another state. I don't know. I'm ready to make a radical move, but I just want to get some advice to make a sound decision.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you up front, just blank statement saying, hey, sell the house. I'm not going to say that. I know that we're at the top of the market right now, and it feels like a good idea, but it could put you in a lurch. So let's get some numbers here and walk through this process. What's your household income?
About $90,000. Okay,
and how much debt?
Between the two of us, just under $200,000.
Wow. And how much is on the car loans each?
$30,000 and $7,000.
All right. And what's the car worth? That $30,000 loan, what's that car actually worth right now?
Right about $30,000.
Okay. And what about the $7,000 car? I'm guessing
it's probably worth about 9 or 10.
Okay. So here's my thinking. Before we go selling the house, what if we went and sold these cars and got something that can get us around for now to get this debt number lower?
Okay.
And then, with this income, can you guys work overtime? Can you work extra jobs? Can you sell stuff?
Yeah, I've actually just picked up a second job that's commission-based. I really don't know what it's going to bring in. So I've already, kind of gotten started with that. The other thing is, and I know you guys hate this, but about $110,000 of the student loans, I'm a high school assistant principal, and I'm on track to have the public student loan forgiveness. I think I'm about 2.5 years away from that, assuming, it still exists and everything. But so I don't know how much hope I should put in that.
None.
As well.
I have very little hope. I mean, if you're 2 years out and you want to ride it out, because this is a large number, right? How much would be forgiven?
$110,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big chunk. But I just don't know that I'd go selling the house. Now, you do have $200,000 versus a $90,000 income. Like, this is going to be a journey for you guys because you can't put more than, $30,000 a year right now based on your income towards the debt.
Right. Yeah.
So the $200,000 does not include your mortgage debt, correct?
No, it does not.
Yeah.
So most of it is your student loan because we got $110 on that, then you got $30 on the car, so we're already at $140. So, man, I tell you, George is right. I got to tell you, I'd sell that car. Because right now, used cars are at the top of their market, too. This is not going to last. So I would cash out that car now. That's $30,000, dude. One swoop, and that gives you some momentum.
Yeah. I mean, based on the numbers I'm seeing, if you wanted to sell the house, because that would be you'd be out of debt completely, right? If you sold the house today, got $200,000. But there's a lot of headaches that come with that, closing costs. Like you said, you're going to have to go rent somewhere. I'm guessing that's way more than your mortgage right now, right?
Yeah, it's a bit more, yes.
And so that part worries me. I'd be crunching some numbers because here's my parameters. Here's what's going on in my head. If I can get rid of this debt in 2 years, I'm not selling the house, even 3 years. If I can get rid of all this debt in 3 years by hustling, getting my income up, selling the cars, selling everything I can, that makes me feel a lot better about it. But if you're saying, hey, it's going to be a 5-year journey to get rid of this debt, then I may go, yeah, we're selling the house and it stinks and it's going to hurt. And we're going to pay way more in rent, but we're going to set ourselves up for a better future.
When you mentioned the out-of-state option, it's when you were laying out, if we sell the house, we may have to move out of state. Is that something that you were already kicking around and open to, or is that one of those, if we sell the house, this becomes one of the options? Was it first or later?
Well, you definitely read me there. So we just look around at what happened in Florida here. We love it in Florida. We're transplants. We moved here from Virginia because we love it here. But it's just going absolutely insane here with the house prices and the rent prices and stuff. And we just kind of think, like, if we sold the house, we get the big financial win. But then if we have to go turn around and pay, $3,500 a month in rent, then it kind of just defeats the purpose of it. So it would be almost like, because I work in public education and I have inner city experience, I can basically go get the same job I have here anywhere else. Right. So it's kind of just a thought, well, why don't I just go move somewhere that makes, where my money goes further, or I can actually afford to live. So
it's a nice thought.
I don't want to uproot. Yeah, I don't want to uproot my family necessarily. We did just have our first child 15 months ago.
Don't do it.
Little
don't
River,
do it.
my little
Hey,
dude.
that's
so.
awesome. Congratulations. Don't do it.
Thank you.
Do it. Here's why. Even in Virginia, you'd have to go to some really rural areas of Virginia for it to make sense anyway. Any kind of metropolitan area in Virginia, it's not like the housing prices are that much different. And to strap yourself because of rent, look, you guys can do this. I'd rather see you hustle, maybe upgrade your gig, and you both just get after it. I wouldn't sell the house now.
Yeah, I'm going to be on a strict monthly budget. I'm going to decrease every expense, do an audit, and try to squeeze as much as you can out of that income. And on top of that, I want you to get a bigger shovel so that this isn't a 5-year journey. That's just too much of a slog. But we're rooting for you, man. Good luck, whatever route you choose. All right, let's take one more. Adam joins us in New York City. Adam, welcome to the show.
Hi, George. Hi, Ken. How you doing?
We're having a blast. What's up?
I have two questions. One, which is probably very common for your show, and the second one, I'm not quite sure how to deal with. So I want to literally just dump my job, the job I'm working for. I know the people for like 15 years. They are all my pretty much like friends. And I don't know how to deal with the guilt, but I am completely burned out. I don't see my future in the company I'm working for. So
okay, all right. So let me address the first one because we have just about 2 minutes, so we got to move quickly. Are you doing anything wrong? Are you doing anything illegal? So are you doing anything unethical?
No,
or are you doing
absolutely no. Absolutely
I know.
No.
I know. It was a setup.
Crazy. Yeah.
Hold
okay.
on, Adam. Listen, it was a setup question. You're not doing anything illegal, nor are you doing anything unethical. So stop feeling guilt. They're going to survive without you. And if they can't survive without you, they wouldn't survive with you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So stop it. You're a good dude. You're burned out. You know it's time to move on, and don't look back. What's the next question?
So the next question is basically I have some options. So I have some options with the work. I have something just coming up, and because, as I said, like I know those folks for 15 years. We're working for 15 years together. They are my friends. I just really don't know how to quit. That's the thing.
You don't know how to quit, how to have that conversation?
Oh, so the first question was guilt, and I answered that one. The second question is how to actually do it? Oh, this is great.
No, I know that basically just, talk to them and put the paperwork.
No, I get it.
You want to do it tastefully.
I get the question. Here's the answer. Quit how you would want someone to quit you.
Okay.
How would you want somebody to quit you, Adam?
So I wouldn't, basically, because if I run my own business, I would just try to keep the people. And
I know, but here, okay.
But would you do it with kindness and respect?
Yeah, you leave well. Leave well.
Yes.
Whatever leave well means to you, do that. Be classy. Don't burn the bridge. Just leave the way you would want someone to leave you is the point, and then you don't have to worry about it. You're going to upset them a little bit. They're going to be disappointed, sure, but that's not up to you. What you're responsible for is how you treat them. Be thankful for the opportunity. Be gracious in your opportunity and how you offer to help transition. And be classy.
As a fellow people pleaser, I relate. I get it.
100%.
We don't need to overthink it.
Yeah.
Good luck, Adam.
Thanks for the call.
That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. My thanks to my co-host, Ken Coleman, all the folks in the booth, Kelly, Ben, James, Zach, Nathan, the whole gang in there keeping the show running, and you, America. We'll be back with you before you know it. Until then, remember to spend wisely, save intentionally, and give generously. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from The Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.